Hello everyone and welcome into the Macon Coliseum. My name is Joe Kopsho. You guys are joining me on the UGA Hockey channel, where we are going to have a radio broadcast for one of the first times ever in the UGA Hockey channel history. Again, I'm Joe Kopsho. Thank you so much for joining me in this matchup between the UGA Ice Dawgs and Delaware Blue Hens. We'll be back shortly for puck drop in about a minute. So referees have said pregame antics, what are those? Instead, we are underway here at the Macon Coliseum. Again, I'm Joe Kopsho. Thank you for joining on the UGA Ice Dawgs channel. Right now, we are quick off puck drop and the Delaware Blue Hens setting up in the Georgia defensive zone. Kick out to Ryan Bailey. He gets the offense going. It's Tyler Stewart dropping it back at the blue line. Big shot by Haugen, blocked out in front. Haugen will chase his own shot down, try and pass it back to the point instead. It's intercepted by a Blue Hen. Good stick from Bailey to force it back into center ice, and the Dogs will control in their own zone. Slow start on the rush, a long stretch pass broken up, and the Blue Hens will have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Instead, they have to touch up. They'll take it into the corner. Good body by Haugen. He'll eventually come up with the puck and play it back into the corner. It's rimmed around to the other side. Bill Martin will be the first to it. A Blue Hen stick comes out in front. Still no shot. This pass errant and will go all the way back to center ice towards that Macon Mayhem logo. As you can see, we do have a bit of a scoreboard on this stream. You can tell the time and hopefully the score. As it is 0-0 as we're about 90 seconds in as the Dogs battle in their defensive zone. They'll come away with it. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Parente looks for the pass. Instead, a shot kicks off the boot of the Delaware Hens blue goalie. Haven't seen the number yet, as now the Blue Hens will have a 2-on-1. This shot beats Testino off the post and goes wide. Thrown back out in front. Testino didn't see it. The Blue Hens still with it. Might have heard that one ring out as it hit off the back post and somehow didn't find its way in. Dogs now with control. We'll kick it up ice. Parente still on the ice. Long shift for him as he's been unable to get off. Strauss now battling his Blue Hen man, as Poole will eventually chase it down and pass to Strauss, a D-to-D pass. Dogs in firm possession of the puck. Not sure who 22 is out there, but it's likely Zachary Knoll. He fires it in on the goalie, however, easy save, as it was just fired down the ice from neutral zone. Dogs forecheck causes a turnover as Punzenberger battles for it. Blue Hens will walk away. Good step around there. Leighton Poole chasing it down at his own red line. Now Poole behind his net. Puck will kick out to the blue line. Good keep from the Blue Hens, but just for now, as the Dogs will be able to kick it out. They'll regroup as Wyatt McAvoy fires it down the ice right towards the red line between the benches. It will kick up, and it looks like out of play, hitting an Ice Dawgs player. So Delaware Blue Hens here early, having most of the puck control, not something we expected to see. Of course, 8-4, a very good AAU team, but the Dogs undefeated, thought they might come out a bit hotter. They win the draw in center ice, and McAvoy will walk through. He'll fire it down the ice. Played by the Blue Hens goalie, who we now know is Nate DeRoche. He'll get his offense working, skating down near side. Shea Walsh, he'll fire it down behind Testino. Battling for it in the corner is Gannon with his man. 3 Ice Dogs now piled up on the puck, yet it's a Blue Hen that walks away with it. Stepping towards the middle, it's kicked out to the crease, or out of the crease, I should say, as McAvoy will now have an on-man rush. He skates down the near side. He'll have to fire it into the corner as his defenseman caught up to him. McAvoy the first to the puck, however, the Blue Hens will kick it out to the other side and will be able to fire it out of their own zone. They'll jump in wide of Testino, and they'll go for a change. So 4 Dogs on the puck, no Blue Hens. Luke Burnett with it. He'll look for a long stretch pass, no one home. Misplayed by the Blue Hens, so the Dogs will have a chance to fight for it at center ice. But eventually it'll kick away from Robbie Whitwer and down behind Testino. Yet again, lots of action behind him so far. with Dawgs having to chase dump-ins. Puck kicked out into neutral ice yet again. A good keep here from the Dawgs, of course, keeping it out of their own defensive territory. Whitwer trying to chase down the puck as a stick is used by DeRoche to kick it out wide of him. Green battling for it on the half wall. Now it'll go up towards the Macon Mayhem logo. Again, just a dump and chase from the Blue Hens. Bill Martin the first to it. He's pushed into the wall. Robbie Whitwer loses a tire as he crashed onto it. He'll pass back to Bill Martin while he still has anything left, and Bill Martin will reset behind Testino. It's lost in his feet. Turnover behind the net. Blue Hens battling for it, trying to get a pass into the crease. They can't get anything. Good job by Haugen to back up his defensive partner. Crashing into each other there are the Dawgs. It's another turnover in neutral ice, as Bill Martin will fire it to Haugen after they eventually regain control. Haugen to Brandon Ing. Ing turns it over. Lots of turnovers here early as Michael DePrisco picked his pocket, and Ing will get it right back. Here, 2-on-3. Haugen's able to poke it loose, and Dawgs can't get out of their own defensive zone. Regrouping at the blue line are the Blue Hens. Good chance here. Fired on Testino right into his chest, and he brings it in to stop the clock for the first time in seemingly 3 minutes. Well, the first one scooted by Testino. Should say flew by, as that thing had some power on it, but hit a post and helped save him. This time right into the breadbasket, and he'll have a face-off to his glove side. Face-off won by the Blue Hens. Quick shot goes wide to the blocker side of Testino. Dawgs right now choked in their own zone. This 2-1-2 forecheck of the Blue Hens doing its job. Kept in at the blue line. Delaware circling around. Tyler Stewart can't control it as he looked to intercept the pass. However, it will get out to the red line. He tries to fire it in and swings and misses again. Dawgs will have to touch up. They do. Mazzaros with it, center ice. He's got a chance if he could drop it. He does. Shot by McAvoy. Goes wide. Ryan Bailey battling for it in the corner. Strauss dumps it back in. First to it is a Blue Hen. He'll swing it around. Mazzaros the first to it. He'll try and do the same, however, is held up against the wall, and Delaware will regroup behind DeRoche. This pass, a stretch one out to the red line, gets kicked right back to an Ice Dawg, and they'll look to dump it in. Tyler Stewart gets it to Mazzaros. Mazzaros loses it on a stick check. As these players coming out a little bit slow. It's been sloppy. Here, a one-on-one. Strauss able to block the shot from the Blue Hen as he was skating in towards the red dot on Testino's blocker side. Long pass, McAvoy, step around, through his legs, shot, backhand, just saved. Excellent save. There will be no video to this stream. I'm the only person here, so unfortunately we will just have radio in the scoreboard. As that was the best opportunity of the night for, looks like Wyatt McAvoy. Or excuse me, Ryan Bailey. Poole playing it to his defensive partner as the Dawgs look to break out. Declan Conway loses it, however, and the Blue Hens will be in their own zone. They are hemmed in their offensive zone as the Dawgs just seem to be mis-skating a little bit. Maybe too nice of ice, something they're not used to. Pass into the crease. Testino stands strong as he kicks that one wide. Good pass here, glove down. Zachary Knoll skating in. Looking for any room, he'll have to take it behind the net. Broken stick. A Blue Hen is without a stick. Zachary Knoll looks to take advantage. Passes it behind the net. Back to him. He looks out in front. Blocked away by a defender and kicked towards the red dot. Luke Burnett fires it around the boards. It hits the dead stick. It will be fired around Burnett. All three Ice Dawgs that were on that back line will chase it back as the Blue Hens get a change. Long stretch pass just kicks over the stick of Gannon. Luke Burnett, the only man back. It's a one-on-one. Alex Burchant, shot goes wide. He'll be the first to it. He'll play it off the back of the net, trying to stuff it in. Testino stands strong. Now Ice Dawgs a chance the other way. Parenti held the line. However, holding the line was Zachary Knoll. He had to give up on the pass from Parenti. Just about 9 minutes through this one. Lots of action. These teams coming out a bit sluggish, but good opportunities on either side. Blue Hens will throw in one on Testino. Easy kick away into the corner for him. They now throw it out in front. It's thrown back behind by an Ice Dawgs player. That's David Eberle. Eberle will be the first to pick it up. He's skating down ice. He's got speed. He's got someone in the middle. Can't find him. Good defensive back check from the Blue Hens. Jack Gannon the first to it. He'll pick it up and play it across. It's McAvoy. He'll lose it, and the Blue Hens will come the other way. Shot in on Testino. Easily sticked again into the corner. This pass out in front. Good chance, but no stick found from the Blue Hen. Shot from the point. This one turned wide by Testino yet again. McAvoy looks to clear. He will. Blue Hens will immediately fire it back in. Testino will be the first to play it, and Haugen will round up the offense. Good pass from Haugen. Had two players crashing on him. Was able to find McAvoy. Now back to Haugen. He'll throw it into the offensive zone, but no one home. And now the Blue Hens can do the same with slow development. Instead, they fire it down the ice. No one home, and that's an icing. Just under the 10-minute mark, we're halfway through the first period. Again, I'm Joe Kopsho. Sorry about no video today. I'm the only one here. And unfortunately, I cannot do it all. I've got a still of the scoreboard, so you can see the time and the score, hopefully. But besides that, nothing too much more I can do, except try and give you guys a good radio call, although my voice a bit tired after calling the Mayhem game. Defensive zone draw for the Blue Hens, won by them, and eventually chipped back in by the Ice Dawgs when they cause a neutral zone ice turnover. This one fired back into the neutral zone. Chipped in on Testino. He'll stick it wide. Haugen picks it up again. Have said his name a lot. He's been active on the defensive side tonight. Fight at the red line in between the benches. Whitwer goes down. And eventually it's fired back into the dog zone just on the positive side of the red line for the Blue Hens, so no icing. Haugen will wrap behind his net. He'll give it off to his defensive partner. Cutting up ice is Ryan Bailey. Bailey turns it over. Picked right back up by another Ice Dawg. Tyler Stewart skating in. He's got two men on him. He cuts in. He's got space. He tries to tuck it in near side. Can't do so. Strauss now with the puck. He's looking out in front. Great tip, but just goes wide from Mazzaros. And eventually the Blue Hens will clear, and they'll have an odd man rush the other way. 3-on-2. The cross-ice pass found. Testino doesn't face any shot as it just couldn't be controlled. The skittering puck kicks away. Blue Hens still have it out in front. Deep in the crease, shot in Testino. He brings it in right on the logo. So lots of action, ping pong on both sides as teams trade blows. However, no one able to break through yet. Step through after the win from the Hens is kicked wide and eventually all the way back towards their goalie, DeRoche. They'll regroup. They're playing excellently so far. Thought we might see the Ice Dawgs come out hot here against an 8-4 team. That has not been the case. The Blue Hens perhaps outplaying them. In the corner, battling at the half wall now, are the Dogs and the Hens. In their defensive zone are the Dogs. Mazzaros comes away with it. He tries to step around in his own defensive zone. Risky play, but he completes it. On to Bailey. Now Bailey, will he go back to Mazzaros? He does. Mazzaros wide open. Blocked out in front. Just getting the stick there was the Blue Hens. Still kicking around. It goes wide. Best opportunity of the night for the Ice Dawgs as Mazzaros had a good chance. However, a great back check from Delaware. Now they'll go the other way. 2-on-2. Stepping around Poole. Unsuccessful. Poole locks down his man. He'll have to regroup towards the blue line. Drop pass now at the blue line. Forced out of the defensive zone by the Dogs as Tyler Stewart tries to chase it down. Cross-ice pass. And now we'll end up to Testino's right on his blocker side. Cross-ice pass. Could hear it from up here as Prente wanted it. However, it's broken up, and Poole will just try and fire it down the ice. It eventually is. As the Dogs looking for a change, they'll get one, as this one comes up way short of icing. On the other side, Delaware tries a long stretch pass, and a whistle blows for icing on them. 7 minutes left here in the first period, still 0-0. 8 shots to 5 in favor of Delaware as they've come out strong. The Dogs had maybe the best chance of the night, although the first shot of the game for Delaware did ring off the post. Ice Dawgs win the offensive zone draw, however, loses it on the control was Zachary Knoll. Eventually, he'll get it back to his defensemen who look up ice. Knoll back with it to Conway. Conway to Parente. Parente into the corner with the puck, tries to throw it out for Knoll. Knoll, twist pass. Ends up back with him, right out in front, and eventually will kick all the way down the ice. Burnett has to chase it down past his own blue line. Gannon with it on the near side. Escapes his blue line, now aiming for the other. He'll walk it in. Gannon steps around his man. Great move. The shot wide. As Gannon will pick it all the way back up on the other side. And eventually now the Dogs will get something going. They slow it down. Conway looks for something other side. He found it. Great save from DeRoche. DeRoche had to kick over to the other side, was able to, and block the shot, just kicking it up over his net. Now the Delaware Blue Hens come the other way. They throw it into the crease. Testino easily kicks it wide, and now it's at the blue line. This one finds the back of the net. Shot from the point, tipped. As the Blue Hens will be the first on the board. Gavin John shot it from the point. It was tipped out in front by Jack DiLiberto, and the Blue Hens are first on the board. It was going towards Testino's blocker side. He kicked that leg out. Last second, DiLiberto careens it towards the other side, and it beats Testino as the Blue Hens are up 1-0 over the Dogs. Not how the Ice Dawgs want to start in this one. Trying to impress on college night of the Macon Mayhem, they now trail, something they are not used to. They'll win the face-off after the goal. McAvoy behind the net. He'll throw one tight angle. Doesn't find its way through. Haugen gets it at the blue line. He'll fire one. This one kicks off a skate of a Blue Hen and goes wide. Now behind the net. Tyler Stewart out in front. Oh, good opportunity. However, kicking it to himself is DeRoche, and he'll cover for an offensive zone draw for the Dogs. Again, I'm Joe Kopsho. Want to apologize for no video today. I know that's become a staple for the UGA Ice Dawgs, but no one able to make the trip, and I was around the corner. Made my way down to try and provide as much as I could. At the blue line after a face-off win, the shot fired, seen clearly by DeRoche. He'll cover, and we'll do it yet again. One 0 Delaware. The Dogs with constant pressure since the goal. They'll win the face-off again. Get it to Gannon. Gannon fires it right in. Excuse me, that's Bill Martin. Does the same as the last face-off. They win it, get it back to a defenseman, no traffic in front, and an easy save for Nate DeRoche. Interesting to see DeRoche out here. He's not the main goalie. He's not even the backup goalie usually for these Blue Hens. Has the least amount of games played of the three. Dogs win the face-off yet again. McAvoy tight angle shot, rings off the inside post. He's able to force a turnover and get it back after his shot goes just inside. However, the Blue Hens will pick it back up and go the other way. Haugen keeps them from entering the zone. He'll throw it down the ice, picked up before icing, but the Blue Hens will quickly fire it back down. First to it is McAvoy. He fires across. Looking up ice is Haugen. He'll do a spin as he's heavily pressured. The 1-2-2 forecheck from Delaware. Developed into a 2-1-2 there, but fired down the ice and not finding his partner McAvoy. That will be icing. As it's been a quick 15 minutes, not too many whistles, but 4:36 left in the period. Dogs have to find their footing. They're not used to getting outshot. They are right now 10-9. Excuse me, 9-8. And it's been really high-quality chances for Delaware. Now they'll have to play defense as the defensive zone draw is won by the Dogs. They'll fire it out. It's found by Eberle. He'll look long for McAvoy. Can't find him. Offense trying to run through McAvoy. It's been unsuccessful. The pass is not clean to him. This shot goes well out of play after it looked like Dylan Punzenberger threw his stick towards the Blue Hens and caused it to chop out of play. Defensive zone draw for the Dogs, lost by Mazzaros. The Blue Hens will walk away from it. But Tyler Stewart pestering them, kicks them out of the zone. They'll touch up and re-enter. Mazzaros, big hit into the boards right by his bench. Strauss on the other side will chase it down. He'll fire it to Stewart. Stewart turns it over center ice. Dangerous turnover. Now the Blue Hens trying to take advantage. It's blocked by Poole. Twisting pass, trying to find something into the crease. Not there for the Blue Hens. And eventually settled down by Poole behind his net. Quickly to center ice and sent right back by the Blue Hens. Eventually Ryan Bailey will pick it up. This top line, he almost commits a turnover. How Strauss was there for him. Mazzaros chips it to Bailey. Bailey can't control it. Tries to look back for Stewart. Stewart not home. They'll fight on the half wall in the Delaware offensive zone. Or excuse me, the Bulldogs offensive zone. Chasing is Mazzaros on the forecheck. Long stretch pass is touched, however, before the red line. So when Strauss gets down there, there will be an icing whistle. They actually wave it off. I'm not sure why, and Strauss wasn't either. He was not careful with the puck, however, his turnover saved by Poole. Now McAvoy in the offensive zone. He tries to step around his man, instead sits him down. The puck in front, but sent away by the second defenseman who came to help. Jack Gannon looking up ice. This will be icing as he found no one, and we'll have another whistle. 2 minutes and 36 seconds left, 1-0 in favor of Delaware. Dogs will have another defensive zone draw. Dogs win the draw. They'll look to clear. Unable to send it out of the red dot and doesn't leave their zone. Testino gets lucky as it goes off his skate. Just thrown on net fast. He wasn't expecting it. Wasn't even his blocker. He was stood up tall and goes off his skate. That's one that, if you give the Blue Hens 99 more chances at that, all 99 likely go in. Now they'll regroup their offense behind Testino. Right out in front now. It goes wide. That was beautiful. Perfect pass to Zachary Solomon, but he just fires it wide. Jack Gannon battling in the corner. Now taken by Green. Green will take it away. It'll be sent in by Robbie Whitwer as the Dogs were offside. As it looked like Brandon Ing just went a little too far. Now Ing will battle for it. He'll come away with it. He loses the puck himself, though. He'll pick it back up in center ice after the Hens cleared. Ing drops it in. He'll chase his own dump in. Eventually it'll kick all the way up to the blue line where Haugen will chip it back in deep. Blue Hens first to it. They'll get to regroup their offense. Jake Green, big hit. That causes a turnover to Haugen. He'll fire away. It goes just wide. Ing the first to it. He passes to center. Robbie Whitwer was there but couldn't get the twig on it. And instead the Blue Hens pick it up and will go the other way. This one in on Testino. He'll have to cover, and he does, as everyone crashes in around him with less than a minute left. Delaware leading 1-0 over the Georgia Ice Dawgs here on college night in Macon. The Macon Mayhem have just won, or earlier, a whole first period earlier over the Fayetteville Marksmen. Now this nightcap, the Dogs looking to bring home another win for Georgia. Officially under a minute as it ticks down after the Ice Dawgs win the face-off draw. They've got a 3-on-2 if they hurry. It's with Conway. He drags it through his own feet. However, nothing comes after as it's poke-checked away. Right out in front now, no one home, and it'll be sent the length of the ice for icing with about 35 seconds left. Ooh, just on 35. Good call. As that one, promising opportunity. Conway with some pretty dancing out there, brings it through his own legs. However, DeRoche up to the task and just picks his pocket. However, now Conway will have his chance in the face-off dot. He wins it cleanly. Haugen throws it around to Parente. Haugen sends it back down. Conway behind the net. He kicks it out in front, but again, no one home. No one in that dangerous crease area. 20 seconds remain in the first period. Parente can't get to it. Instead, the Blue Hens fire it down. Haugen will be the first to it. He'll chip it out to Zachary Knoll. Knoll fires it to the other side. Conway will be the first to it. The Dogs still fighting on their own half wall. Now Martin with it. He looks to just pin it to the boards as we hit 2, 1, and 0. So after one period, the first 20 minutes, Delaware leads 1-0 over the Georgia Ice Dawgs. I'm Joe Kopsho, providing you play-by-play for this radio broadcast. Right now, the Blue Hens lead the Dogs 1-0. Welcome back, everyone, to second period action. We haven't dropped puck yet. We're just coming back, but as you can see, 20 minutes on the clock. We should get going here relatively soon, as both the Blue Hens and the Ice Dawgs have head back out onto the ice, although the Blue Hens just making their way there as DeRoche has taken his spot in goal on the other side. The Blue Hens now going from right to left. The Dogs, of course, mean they're going from left to right, at least from my perspective, as most of the fans are on the other side of the stadium, so from their perspective you can flip it, but I'll do my best. I'm Joe Kopsho bringing you through this one. As you can see, we've changed our camera angle a little bit. We have one camera here. I unfortunately can't run it by myself, so we changed it to the other scoreboard since I know it was a little bright. But there you can see the story of this whole game. Delaware 1, Georgia nothing. It was just one quick shot that beat Testino. Of course, there were other opportunities for Delaware, one off the inside of the post. Some opportunities from the Ice Dawgs, but right now we're all even in shots. Ooh, they actually added a shot to Delaware, making it 10-9, but the goals tell the different story. We have officially started play as the Dogs lost the draw. Kicks all the way back to Testino after the Blue Hens fired it in. It will be with Ryan Bailey, who tries to find Mazzaros with a stretch pass. Mazzaros instead blows an edge and will have to pick himself back up as it's fired in yet again from the Blue Hens right at the red line. Now it's with Bill Martin. He's just across at the half wall from Testino on his blocker side. Bill Martin will eventually walk away with it. He sends it back to Haugen. Haugen will look up ice. He'll fire a pass to Tyler Stewart. Now it's Mazzaros all alone. The defense collapsing on him, and they're able to poke it away. He found a spot between two defenders, and it looked good until they collapsed on him, and he couldn't get through. Now the Blue Hens in their offensive zone. They'll work in the corner. Now back up towards the red circle. Pass to the other side is broken up, and they'll fire it down the ice. Will the Dogs? Picked up by Mazzaros in center ice. He's got no one on him. His shot blockered away from the goalie. Good shot, top left corner, blocker side, but DeRoche stands tall. Strauss will fire it back in. It's with Mazzaros. He looks out in front of the net, no one home. Instead, he'll send it against the half wall and back up to Leighton Poole. Poole tries to fire something out in front. It kicks towards DeRoche. He'll stick it away as a Dog and a Blue Hen crash right in front of the goal. Now the Blue Hens go the other way. They've got an opportunity as Ryan Anatra looks out in front. No one there. Instead, he'll find the trailer. The shot on Testino. He can't glove it. However, he gets enough of it to force it wide. Trying to stuff it in on Testino are the Blue Hens. However, he stands tall, and it's sent all the way down the ice for icing. They'll wave it off at the last second, saying it doesn't have enough, actually. So we'll continue play here. Poole will pick it up in center ice after the turnover. Now Zachary Knoll with it. He'll lose it, and the Blue Hens have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. They'll drop it off to the middle. It beats Testino, but way high. He didn't have a chance there to get anything on it, and instead the Dogs will come back the other way. Throwing around his defender is Knoll. Knoll will be the first to it. He'll try and send it to Poole around the boards. Instead, it's chopped out. And this one is icing, so the Dogs will get a bit of a breather as Strauss was the one to chase it down, and they'll get an offensive zone draw. Dogs will win the draw. Gannon will send it down to Knoll. Knoll again loses it, and Gannon will have to pick it up in center ice. Parente with it now. He'll look to skate in the zone himself. He'll pick it up. He's using his speed. He'll cut behind the net. Does an around-the-world pass into the center. McAvoy shoots, kicked wide, easy save. DeRoche saw it the whole time. Gannon the first to it at the blue line. The Blue Hens will be able to chip it out, and now they've got an odd man rush. Zachary Solomon with the puck. He'll choose to shoot. He fires it wide. Does not test Testino, and now the Dogs the other way. Conway with it. He looks for McAvoy. McAvoy crashing in, can't get any wood on it, and instead it's blockered away by DeRoche. Now Blue Hens the other way. They have a 2-on-1. The pass broken up by McAvoy on a great back check. Now Burnett with it. Burnett looking cross ice to Prente. He'll keep it himself. Now he goes Conway the short way. Conway will just tip it in and get a change for the Dogs on, of course, the long side. These two teams in the second period having the long change. Dogs get possession back in the neutral zone. They fire it the other way, and DeRoche will play it himself to his defenseman. Dogs fighting for it on the half wall. Eberle loses the battle, and the Blue Hens will come the other way. Very back and forth game here as the Dogs just won the puck, fire it down the ice, and commit an icing. But no real sustained offensive pressure since really Delaware early in this game, early in the first. Instead, it's been all back and forth this entire time. As the Dogs will battle for it off a face-off in their defensive zone. Eventually, Punzenberger will walk away with it. He'll throw it to McAvoy. McAvoy cutting towards the net. He'll stop up, but the Blue Hens read it the whole way and take away the puck from him. Eventually, 5 Dogs surround the puck, all on the Macon Mayhem logo where it kicked out to. And Haugen will be the one to enter the zone. He'll throw it on net. DeRoche plays it off to his side, and the Dogs will get another change. It leaves the zone and is thrown yet again back in. As the Dogs doing a lot of dump and chase. Now an opportunity out in front, kicks off Eberle's leg. Not towards the direction of the goal as it will go into the corner. Now up at the blue line, shot fired in, not dangerous as DeRoche just turns it into the corner where the Dogs will now battle for it. Back up towards Poole. Poole walking in, high crease, shot is turned away by a defenseman out in front. Looks like Cam Raffenstanger who turned it away. Eberle now out in front with it after it kicks back in. Eventually it will cross ice to Bill Martin. Bill Martin to Poole. Poole whiffs on it. Now he'll have to chase it down out of his offensive zone. He'll walk it back in. He's looking for some help. Eventually he'll take it towards his bench. Fire it in deep. Punzenberger first to it. He'll chip it out to Poole, who is unable to keep the line. He sits his man down, but Strauss will have to chase the puck into his defensive zone. Dogs with a little bit of pressure here. Not many high-quality shots as Strauss skates in. Not used to this. He fires. It's blocked away by DeRoche. Strauss, the defender's defenseman there, went on offense. As now the Blue Hens will get a short clear before the Dogs put the pressure back on, this time with the fourth line of Whitwer, Ing, and Green. It's kicked back out into center ice. Poole will play it first. Whitwer the next to it. He'll kick it back to Strauss, and he goes back to Poole. Now long stretch pass up to Whitwer. He touched it in, so no icing. As missing around the boards was the Blue Hens defender. Green will be the first to it. Stewart plays it to him again. Now back up to the point. Gannon walking it down. Shot high. Blocked down by Whitwer, who was out in front. He couldn't get it at his feet, and the Blue Hens will come the other way. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Gannon chasing down the man with the puck, who just chips it into the corner away from him. Back at the blue line now, where Gannon is able to block it down in front of him and get it to Green. Green, long stretch pass. Finds Tyler Stewart. Stewart dancing around his man, looking to cut in. Tight angle shot, scores! There was no angle, but somehow Tyler Stewart found it. Nate DeRoche, all of 6 feet, but somehow some room between the post and his shoulder, and Tyler Stewart sneaks it in short side for the first goal for Georgia. That's why you take that shot. Sometimes it'll find its way in, and Tyler Stewart gets a little bit lucky with a lot of skill on top and ties this one up at 1. Great job by Tyler Stewart. Not sure how he knew there was any angle there. Certainly didn't look like there was, but he's able to successfully convert. And now the Dogs score again before the faceoff really gets underway. The announcement still coming in for Tyler Stewart. They win the faceoff. A quick shot skating into the zone. And excuse me, it wasn't Tyler Stewart, it was Evan Moore, and now it's his partner, Ryan Bailey, who scores quickly. I mean, Mazzaros just won the draw. Bailey was first to it. He just walked his way in between 3 players and scored. Didn't look like anything threatening was there on either goal, and yet Georgia scores 2. Now the Blue Hens win the draw. They'll look to get offense going quickly. Testino saves one, he saves another, and it kicks out wide. I apologize again, folks. It's Evan Moore. So that should be 2 goals to Evan Moore wearing the 18. Now he's got another chance, a one-on-one. He shoots toe drag just high, and eventually the blocker of DeRoche kicks it out into the netting. We'll see who the goal is given to, the second one, as it was originally taken by Bailey. Moore was there. I'm not sure how he would have tipped it, and Gannon was there as well. It was just all Georgia players colliding on the goal after the faceoff win, and somehow it went in. This faceoff quickly won by the Dogs, shot on goal covered up by DeRoche. So all of a sudden, the Dogs have taken the lead 2-1. Conway in on the draw. He'll win it back to Haugen, who skated in too quick and let it go by him. He'll have to regroup in his own zone. Haugen fires it up. It's intercepted and sent back down the length of the ice. Bill Martin will be the first to it now. As this will be icing, sent all the way down by Martin. So lots of confusion as the Dogs just quickly pile on. They throw the puck at the net, and it goes in twice. The first from Evan Moore. I believe the second was given to Jack Gannon, so he somehow touched it before it went in. As the Dogs are able to clear their own zone after the face-off, but sent right back in by the Blue Hens. However, they'll be slow to regroup as they were offside. Stretch pass, this is broken up. It was meant for Parente, however, a couple men in between them intercept it, or do their part to do so. The Blue Hens enter the zone, but right back out, and the Dogs looking to build something. Great pass to Conway, and it's just offside on Parente on the near side. Parente will ask his partner, Zachary Knoll, if it was him that was off, because he didn't think he was. Close one there. Conway had a lot of space to skate into. And a clean game so far. Haven't seen the power play yet from either team. Despite some big hits in center ice, this one comes in here, and it allows Georgia to take the puck. Parente will ask for a penalty on him. He won't get it as Georgia skates into the zone. This one chipped by Strauss. Poole, the last one home. He'll take away the pass, and Testino takes away the shot, gloves it down with a great save. That is now 15 saves for him on 16 shots. Just the one blemish on his night so far, as these two teams come back tied to shots. 16-16. We're about halfway through the second, and the Dogs have poured it on here early. This is what I expected to see in the first period. The Dogs come out hot. Instead, they do so in the second period. Dogs win the faceoff. They'll have a 3-on-3. Punzenberger looking for his man. Eberle cutting towards the center. Instead, Punzenberger loses it, and now it'll be a battle on the half wall. Kicks out to Poole, who sends it back in deep. Punzenberger behind the net. He's got a man open in the crease. Instead, he passes back to the point, and Strauss misses the reception, and Testino will have to play it behind his own net. Testino passes to Strauss. Strauss trying to fire it back up towards the blue line, however, loses it in his skates, now pestered by Blue Hens. He'll eventually get it out, but the Blue Hens will walk away with possession. They re-enter the zone. Shot here, Testino, easy save. Kicks it back out in front of him. And now the Dogs the other way. Wyatt McAvoy looking for a pass. He drops it off to Punzenberger. Punzenberger fires it over to the other side. Gannon tries to kick it to himself, but instead kicks it deep into the corner. Blue Hens will send it around the wall. Poole will try and close out the angle. Instead, it will go all the way down the ice. Not enough for icing, as it's picked up by Punzenberger. Punzenberger now will re-enter the zone. He's looking for a pass out in front. It's broken up as he was looking for Will Selly. Now Selly will converge on the puck. Tries to lay a big hit, but hits the wall himself. Eberle will throw it into the own corner of the Dogs as he was getting pestered near the face-off dot towards Testino's blocker side. Dogs clear the zone. Eberle, great one-handed catch. Looks like an NFL player now drops it off to Punzenberger. He fires a backhand shot on goal, but no power or speed to it as he was getting chased down, and instead it will be a face-off after it's covered up by DeRoche. So everyone taking a bit of their time as legs start to turn to jelly. The face-off will be on the blocker side of DeRoche, far from me. It'll be one back to Luke Burnett, who will have to fire it in quickly. Will Selly getting his first shift out here, kicks it out into the crease, but no one home, and the Blue Hens will try and go the other way. Burnett intercepts the long stretch pass and looks to chip it in to, it looks like, Jake Green. Robbie Whitwer with it now behind the goal. Green comes away with it, looks to pass up to the point. Instead turns it over as Delaware will come the other way. They'll fire it in deep. Gannon will be the first to it on the half wall. Now the Blue Hens right out in front. Ooh, waits too long to pass, and now it's kicked towards their bench. Good opportunity, 2-on-1, collapsing into the net. Instead held on to it too long. As this will be our first penalty of the game, as Green tried to make a play, and it looked almost like kneeing. We'll see what they call it. There really shouldn't be any argument there as the puck was well away from the Blue Hen, and looked like he kneed him on his way by. Might be called a trip as well. So it will be a penalty on number 91, Jake Green, and will be the first time we see the power play unit from the Delaware Blue Hens, or either team for that matter, as the Dogs will be down to 4, and of course the first time we'll see the Dogs penalty kill. Blue Hens win the draw. They'll settle it down at the blue line, now rotating down behind the net. 2 Blue Hens there and only 1 Haugen, who ends up winning the battle. However, Blue Hens will walk away with it at the blue line. Testino turns a shot away, not very dangerous, uses his stick to get it to Haugen. Haugen looking to get clean control and clear. He can't, as he's now battling behind the net yet again. He'll fire it to the blue line, kept in. Now back down low. Michael DePrisco looking for his man back at the point, and it will drift all the way down towards the goalie on the other side, DeRoche. So Dogs get their first clear of the penalty kill. Now they'll have to come race on back as they were 2 men up. They'll get a stick in the passing lane and fire it back down the ice again, and Parente will be the one to chase it down this time. He intercepts the pass, no one in goal. Somehow DeRoche dives back and saves the puck. DeRoche went out to play it, threw it right to Parente, and somehow Superman dived back into his spot. Now the Blue Hens the other way, behind the net, looking for anything open out in front. Instead goes around the world, eventually fires a shot towards the front of the net, but turned away by a defender and sent right back down onto DeRoche. This one played a bit better by him, although he couldn't get much worse. Parente trying to steal the puck away from the Blue Hens defenseman. Instead, they rotate it back and settle it down with 30 seconds left in the power play. They enter the zone. They get it back to the point right in front of Testino. Fanning on the pass, eventually able to get it there are the Blue Hens, as now it ends up in the high crease. Just bouncing around in the high crease. Dogs are able to get it back out at top to the blue line. Shot comes in, and that will be a high stick. The Blue Hens can't touch it. The Dogs will be content to take a few extra seconds off before they do. And it looks like some confusion, but this should be a face-off outside the Dog zone, and it is, with 7 seconds left on the Jake Green penalty. So face off on the near side. Dogs will win it. Evan Moore walks away with it and is able to kill off the last couple seconds of the penalty. Blue Hens fire it back into the corner in their offensive zone. Strauss battling for it down low. Blue Hens looking for a target. High crease, instead it kicks off the stick and back into center ice. Evan Moore chasing his man down. Mazzaros will pick it up. Moore gets back on side. Mazzaros looking to make something happen, eventually taken away from him though, and Delaware will come the other way. Poole controls it back to his partner. Now receives it as he'll look to start the rush. Instead, he'll wrap around back behind Testino. He loses his defender. Now he's got some space. He gets past another one, but a change here. A man coming on Poole didn't expect, keeps him behind for a second. He'll have to resettle it. Long stretch pass as trying to turn a shot off of it was Ryan Bailey. It goes wide. The Blue Hens will clear and Bailey will send it back in. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remain in the second period as the Dogs, now on top, look to add another. Mazzaro steps around his man. Tight angle. Instead passes. McAvoy right out in front. As now Bailey with it as McAvoy goes off. Evan Moore looking to get it back to Mazzaros behind the net. Mazzaros has it. Pass out in front. This shot blocked down by a defender out in front. And the Blue Hens will have a 3-on-2 the other way if they hurry. Instead, a great back check. And Mazzaros sends his man into the Delaware bench. He got a change even though it didn't look like he wanted one as Mazzaros threw his man's body back onto the bench. Gannon now coming the other way. Dumps it to Conway. Shot from Moore. Eventually, glove saved and kicked out. Juicy rebound, but nothing to it. As Moore still battling deep into his shift behind the net. Goalie has lost his stick. Can't pick it up as Dogs still applying pressure. Not clean possession, but are in the offensive zone. It's now the line of Conway, Parente, and Knoll out there. Parente with it. Now to Knoll, right out in front. Conway, the last man to touch it. It kicks wide. And it will be sent all the way down the ice. Good move there from Delaware as their goalie still didn't have a stick. So Luke Burnett having to chase it down, even though it's icing, allows the goalie to pick up his stick and reset with 4 minutes left on the clock here. Conway will glide into the face-off dot. He'll win the draw. However, it's quickly turned over by Zachary Knoll. Blue Hens go the other way. They try a quick up pass. Instead, it's taken away by Conway. Knoll now skates into the offensive zone for the Dogs. It's taken away from him yet again. Conway on the pressure causes an errant pass to go all the way down the ice. However, it's beaten out for icing as the defender, Quid Scribner, was the first there. Now the Dogs come the other way. Knoll walks it in. He tries the tight angle shot. It's saved this time. He'll be the first to get it back on the other side after it was rimmed around the boards. He'll try and step through. Instead, dumps it off to Conway after finding no success. Bill Martin from the point, right into the breadbasket of DeRoche. An easy save for him, and there'll be a face-off to his glove side. Punzenberger will drift into the face-off dot. He wins it back to Poole. Poole will try and fire it down to Punzenberger, who's right in the crease. It's turned away. Eberle cross-ice pass to Strauss. Strauss will fire it on. This one tipped wide. Looked like it hit off the post after it made some contact out in front with McAvoy. The Blue Hens will finally clear, and they've got another 3-on-2. This time worse defended by the Dogs. However, an errant pass allows them to regroup. Now an errant pass from David Eberle. The turnover allows for a shot. Testino saves. Bad turnover from David Eberle in his defensive zone. However, Testino helps him out with a kick save. Now Punzenberger will come back the other way. He wraps around, going behind the net, but eventually loses it, and Strauss will have to skate backwards to defend his man. Another 3-on-2. This one better executed, but the shot never comes out as Strauss plays his man into the corner. Wow, Delaware has had so many 3-on-2s, and yet they've taken zero advantage of them. McAvoy drops it off to Eberle. Eberle locks it in. He's got an angle. It's tight. He'll choose to pass it up and instead wrap around behind the net. He's looking for any help. He'll eventually dump it in deep to Brandon Ing. The fourth line out there now. Back to Gannon. Gannon will step around his man. Toe drag shot goes off the inner thigh of a Blue Hen and turns into the corner, and they eventually fire it out. Luke Burnett with it on his own blue line. Looks to fire it towards the other one, and will. It gets to Ing. Ing over to Gannon. Gannon back to Ing. Ing tips it in, and it's saved. Glove save. This one not. Jake Green, back door. Picks up the rebound, goes inside, hits post and in. The Twine looking fine. Jake Green finds the third goal of the night for the Ice Dawgs. Beautiful passing there between Gannon and Ing. They can't finish it off. Jake Green crashing hard. He's able to pick up a rebound and fire it glove side and beat DeRoche. It is now 3-1 Ice Dawgs. So after going down 1-0, the Dogs have scored 3 unanswered and lead 3-1. Jake Green's 4th goal of the season. After the face-off, the Blue Hens will be the first to it and will regroup. Dogs will settle it down behind their net and now start a rush after causing the turnover. An errant pass will allow the Blue Hens to fire it back in on Testino. Jack Gannon will chip it around the boards. It's behind Testino. Now the Blue Hens out in front. They make the pass, however, it'll kick through after an Ice Dawg makes a good poke check. Evan Moore to Gannon, to Mazzaros. It goes just wide. The rebound, a juicy one. However, the Blue Hens the first to it. They kick it back into the corner. Ryan Bailey makes the pass to Burnett. Burnett will now skate off, and instead will come the line of Bill Martin and Truman Haugen. This shot right out in front doesn't find its way through, as crashing was Wyatt McAvoy. 15 seconds remain. The Blue Hens will get one last rush here. Instead, they'll pass it off, afraid of icing. 5 seconds here, and they'll actually just pass off a whole possession. Interestingly enough, they're content to take it to period 3. And so are the Ice Dawgs as they pin it to the wall. 3-1 after 40 minutes. The Ice Dawgs come on strong in the second period, scoring 3 unanswered. I'm Joe Kopsho. We'll see you back here in 15 minutes for third period action. Welcome back for third period action. Apologize for that, as the Dogs have won the original draw and will now be going right to left and looking to add on to their total, right now leading 3-1. Evan Moore was closest to that puck, but just lets it skitter on by him, as the Blue Hens will establish the puck in their own zone and eventually skate out towards their offensive zone. They'll throw it in. Testino will be the first to play it, and a Blue Hen will battle with him for it. Martin eventually able to chip it out, as Bailey will skate it out. Last 20 minutes of this game, we'll see how it develops, as Bailey throws in a good shot, just sticked away. It was very high in the air, but just catches the upper part of the stick of DeRoche. Blue Hens will settle it down and try and chip it out of the zone. Mazzaro tried to keep the line, but was unable to, as it will skitter out to center ice. Mazzaro still on the forecheck. He's able to force it back to Bill Martin, who will pass it to Haugen, who will walk it in. Haugen, good chip pass right out in front here. Backhanded shot saved, as it looked like Parente couldn't get enough on it to chip it over the glove of DeRoche. Now the other way, the Blue Hens, good saucer pass, but can't be controlled out in front. They'll bring it back behind the net, cycling it back to the point now. This shot wide. The rebound off of it coming off the hard board is turned away by Testino into the corner. Eventually, Parente will be the first to it, and he will clear the defensive zone for Georgia. Cross ice pass to Declan Conway. Conway throws it in deep. Zachary Knoll the first to it. It'll make its way back to Strauss. Strauss will try and fire it in deep, but it's chopped away, and the Blue Hens will come the other way with a 4-on-3. Tries to get it through the defenseman. Does the Blue Hen. Instead, Knoll's able to clear the zone. Another odd man rush for the Blue Hens. This time, they'll find success out in front. Testino just able to get the big leg on it. The rebound out in front goes off a stick. That's Conway turning it to the side. It's now in the corner. Two great opportunities. Testino with his best save of the night, and Conway helping him out on the back end. Now at the half wall, step in. Great job by Strauss to read that and send it all the way down the ice. It is enough for icing, however, and the Blue Hens will get an offensive zone draw for themselves. Not sure how Testino saved that last one. That was a golden opportunity for Delaware, but he's able to get the big tree trunk out there and save it. As the face-off draw is won by Delaware, however, it will leave their offensive zone, and the Dogs will quickly get the puck back. Strauss will regroup now behind the net of Testino. He gives it off D-to-D pass to Poole. Poole throws it behind Knoll, but he's able to gather and get into the offensive zone. He makes a half spin, is looking for someone behind him. Instead, he'll have to throw it in the corner. As the Dogs look like they're playing a bit slow, it looks like the momentum and energy has been taken out of them, as Gannon will have to regroup. Now he skates past two defenders. Looking to drop it back. Instead, will send it into the high crease, but no one was there. It will be sent around the boards, kicks back in, and is covered by DeRoche. Weird bounce as it went around the half wall. Looks like it went off a skate and back towards DeRoche, and he has to cover. Both teams will make a full switch, as the Dogs will get fresh skaters on, and Eberle will take the face-off draw. Eberle wins the draw. McAvoy will take it behind the net. He tries to throw it out in front, but again, no one home. It'll make its way back to Burnett, who plays it up to Eberle. Back to Burnett. Burnett cross ice pass in front of the Dogs bench. He'll get it back in the face-off dot on the other side. He gets it up to McAvoy, who can't control it. Now Burnett will have to play defense against the Blue Hens, crashing in. Good pass here. Blue Hens tried the tight angle shot. Nowhere close. Didn't even make contact with Testino as he took away the tight angle. Now Burnett will chase it down in the corner, battling for it. He'll give it off to Eberle. Eberle's able to kick it out, and the Dogs will come the other way. Chopped in by Punzenberger. He'll be the first to chase it down, although a Blue Hen will actually get there before him as he reaches out his stick well. Walking in, Gannon, pass to McAvoy. McAvoy tries to step around his man. He wanted the call there for tripping. He was taken down, but no arm is up. Instead, the Blue Hens clear. Gannon will look for a pass around the red line. He'll eventually find Punzenberger, and they'll re-enter the zone, will the Dogs. High crease, Gannon off to Punzenberger, broken up by a diving poke check, and it will go all the way down the ice. The Blue Hens will be the first to it, as it's Griffin O'Shaughnessy chasing it down. O'Shaughnessy throws it out in front. No Blue Hen home. He picks it up himself, goes off the top of the post, the corner of the post, and out. Testino will thank his posts again, as yet again they save him the second time tonight, as Ing will skate it in to the opposite side. That is the second time the Blue Hens have rang the post. That one even closer than the first. Now, I'm not sure that was possible. They'll now regroup around their blue line. Eventually, they'll fire it in on Testino. He'll have to play it off to his side to Haugen. Haugen will pick it up. He'll fire it down towards the red line. It's picked up by Whitwer. Whitwer will chop it in. He'll look to race to it first. Instead, he crashes into the boards, and Ing will force it back to his defensive pairing of Bill Martin and Truman Haugen. Eventually, the Blue Hens will walk away with it. They'll fire a cross-ice pass. Crashing in on Testino is the puck and two Dogs. Eventually, Jake Green walks away with it. He scored a goal earlier, the third of the night for the Dogs. Haugen will chop it in deep. The Blue Hens first to it. They try a long stretch pass. They'll beat out the icing as they were cherry picking, but the pass too far to DePrisco. He'll have to wrap around the goal, takes it back to the point. Now down low, a good opportunity, trying to find some space for the Blue Hens. They're unable to as Mazzaros comes crashing in. Now behind the net again, the Blue Hens looking out in front. They've had a couple opportunities with the tight angle. They choose to pass it up. This one was fired in on Testino, but off his back and ends up right behind the goal again. Now at the blue line after a pass. The shot blocked out in front by Mazzaros and is eventually skated out by Evan Moore, but he can't get any further than the red line. Mazzaros is able to pick it up and fire in a shot on goal, but it was very soft and easily controlled and sticked away by DeRoche. Errant pass, D to D, broken up and taken away by Moore. Moore looking for any help, and it's taken away from him now. Not very clean hockey 7 minutes into the third, but the Dogs taking advantage of it with their 3-1 lead. As long as Delaware doesn't get any clean looks, they get a chance to be in the driver's seat and start putting this one away. Dogs will escape their defensive zone and fire it into the far corner. It'll be Mazzaros and Moore pinching in on it. Mazzaros, the first to it, tries to throw it out in front, but can't get it through the Blue Hens. They'll come the other way now. They've got a 4-on-3. Instead, they'll make a change and just throw it in on Testino, who gives it off to the defender, Bard. Mazzaros, good stick check on the forecheck. He won't walk away with the puck, but the Blue Hens will have to regroup after almost turning it over. Skating back, good job from Ryan Bailey to get this puck. He'll pass it off to Evan Moore. Moore's shot goes off the skate. It's bouncing in front. DeRoche can't control it. And eventually it'll find its way into the corner. Blue Hens will skate it out. However, they make an errant pass. Parente with it. He tries to pass in, and it's tipped by Conway, but covered up by DeRoche. Excellent pass from Parente. Conway got the tip. However, kicking across was DeRoche, and he was able to get it right under the face mask and bring it in with his glove. Close one there. The Dogs threatening on that. That was a great look, but DeRoche stands tall. Dogs will win the offensive zone draw. They'll get it back to the point. Walking in is Gannon. He's looking for a shot. Instead, he'll walk all the way behind the net. He gets it to Parente, far side. Parente shoots it right into DeRoche. DeRoche is sprawled out. He doesn't know where the puck is, and eventually he's able to cover it when he closes his legs and sprawls fully out. 180 degrees, horizontal, whatever you want to call it. As he and Parente will have a discussion. Not sure about what, but it looks semi-friendly as we have just about 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Face-off won by the Dogs, but it will go all the way back to Testino, who accidentally plays it to a Blue Hen off the wall, gives them a good chance. However, their shot is easily sticked away by the man himself. Parente the first to it. He fires it all the way down ice, but it hit a stick, and therefore is not icing as Dogs and Blue Hens crash into a corner. Now it'll come the other way. The Blue Hens with pressure, skating it in. Dogs able to force a turnover. Now it's a 1-0. Parente. DeRoche coming all the way out of his goal. Now right out in front, scored. Parente was the first to it. DeRoche made the misplay. He came all the way out of the net. And then Conway able to pick up the scraps. Four to 1 Dogs. The score goes from 3 to 4 in their favor. And it's just a silly misplay by DeRoche as he thought he might be able to beat Parente to the puck. Instead, Parente just threw it onto him. And by doing that, it kind of just stayed put right out in front of the high crease. And with DeRoche gone, it couldn't have been easier for Declan Conway. And as you can see, Georgia has truly hit their stride, both in the goal column and the shots column. It looks like actually Zachary Knoll was leading the line, 22. I actually don't have a number 22, but I'm assuming that's Zachary Knoll. Could also be James Hedquist, unsure, as I was not given a number for 22. But whoever was 22 scored, excuse me, not Declan Conway. Conway likes to wear his jersey high up, though, where you can't tell what the second number is. So 10 minutes remaining in the third. We're 50 minutes through, and the Dogs are up 4-1. Right now, nothing really developing. The Blue Hens won the opening draw, and since then they've just been unable to escape from their own zone. The forecheck of the Dogs just too much. Dogs haven't gotten clean possession, but they've just forced the Blue Hens back behind the goal every single time that they look to break out. Now the Dogs will walk away with clean possession in their own zone, so they'll look to start their own rush. Instead, a turnover here as Gannon couldn't control it. He'll eventually pick it back up in the high crease and walk it out past the blue line. Now with it, Wyatt McAvoy. Eventually, it's one on the half wall by the Blue Hens, who will skate it out. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry, but it looks like they want to change. Instead, they'll skate it all the way behind Testino and look to set up after the change. Very slow change. Their fifth man just getting down there. Now he takes a big slap shot, and it finds its way through. It didn't even get off the ice. However, at the last second, it beat Testino on the far side of the post. That was not pretty, but it works in favor of Delaware. Just some ugly, ugly hockey, and sometimes that can be the best form when no one's expecting it. There were only 4 men in the offensive zone for the Blue Hens. Eventually, the fifth came along after a long switch, and he went down to one knee to strike the puck in a powerful slap shot. Instead, he mostly whiffed, but it just skittered on in. Testino not expecting it. Michael DePrisco with the goal for the Blue Hens, and now after getting a 3-goal lead, it goes right back to 2 for the Dogs after the Blue Hens start to battle back. They win the face-off draw and set up in the offensive zone. They pass the high crease, no one's there, and it'll go back to the point. This shot on Testino turned away, as that was his 19th save of the night, 19 for 21. Or 19 of 21, should say. Dogs behind their own net get to settle it down after some Blue Hens pressure. They make the long stretch pass, however, unable to control it was Jake Green. Brandon Ing will be on the forecheck. Blue Hens just dump it in, so they make their change. Haugen will wrap around behind his goal and look to set up. Good forecheck here, powerful hit from the Hens, but now the Dogs able to make the pass. It's a 3-on-2. Haugen takes the shot. It's kicked away. He'll receive it back on the half wall. He'll send it back in deep, where eventually it will be won by the Blue Hens, and they get it all the way to their blue line and now skate it into the Dog zone. Green with a big body, able to win the puck and wrap behind his own goal and give it off to Bill Martin. Bill Martin makes a bad mistake behind his net and almost turns it over. He's able to get it out to the blue line, but the Blue Hens will hold it and try and set their offense. Cross-ice pass broken up. Ryan Bailey skating in. He's got a chance. Backdoor pass. Jake Green just misses it. As Green will skate off after he had a good opportunity there. Just couldn't find the tape and put it in the back of the net. Dogs, offensive zone pressure here. Evan Moore will pick it up at the half wall. He'll chip it deep, and it will go out of play as it touched the netting before it came back down. And it will be a face-off draw to the left of DeRoche. .6:45 remaining in this third period. I'm Joe Kopsho, bringing you through this one radio style. We got a graphic up, but nothing like the real thing. We'll have that tomorrow when the Dogs play at 1:30. So make sure to tune right back here on this channel at 1:30 to see that as the Blue Hens win the faceoff, enter the Dog zone. They've got a chance out in front, tight angle. Testino's able to glove it as going far side with the Blue Hen attacker. Testino stands tall there. Defensive zone draw for the Dogs. They'll win it. Poole will receive it, and he'll chip it off high off the glass. Blue Hens will be the first to it at center ice and skate it into the zone. James Magano takes it into the corner for the Blue Hens, and eventually it's won by the Dogs and kicked back out to center ice. Lots of dump-ins and chase and lots of getting it to center ice for the Dogs and trying to get the forecheck going. Here it works efficiently as Ryan Bailey comes up with it. He'll pass behind the net. It's broken up and will go all the way back to the blue line where the Hens are first to it. Now a good back check. Dogs will get it back, and it's with Bailey. Bailey tries to drop it off to Mazzaros, but too far for him. And now it's just Strauss and an attacker. The attacker will send it behind the net. Now out in front. They had a good opportunity, but sticked away by Poole. This shot from the point after it kicked out. Taken easily by Testino as he gloves it and freezes the puck. So 5 minutes and 32 seconds remain here in period number 3. The Dogs are up 4-2 as they make their trip down to Macon, Georgia. Soon their home will officially be in Athens, Georgia. They've played in Duluth and other places as the arena in Athens is finished up, but soon that will be their home. But right now they get to play in a professional arena down here in Macon. Backdoor pass goes off the post. Testino will thank his posts again as the Blue Hens, of course, win the draw and get a quick shot. Or looked like a pass, but obviously hit off the back post. So we'll call it a shot. As the Dogs get it to the other end at their blue line, kept in by Bard. Now walking it behind the net is Knoll. Knoll passes it in the high crease, but no one able to control it, and the Dogs will just have to chip it in. Delaware able to clear, steps around his man. Does DePrisco, looking for some help, no one there. Eventually someone skates into the high crease, finds him, but Baird's stick kicks it away. And he fires it out of the zone. Parente trying to beat out icing. He should here. He does. He kicks it out in front. Declan Conway, easy 5-hole. Declan Conway, a great job to back up Parente, who makes an excellent no-look pass. Thought he was just going to take it into the corner. Instead, he beats out the icing, throws it out in front, and Conway's there to answer, putting the Dogs up 5-2. Lots of these goals in this game have just been unexpected quick breaks by both teams. This time it favors the Dogs. They extend their lead back up to 3. Dogs win the draw after they just scored. So Declan Conway, that one I'm positive about after the last ones have been a little questionable. And the Blue Hens come back the other way quickly after causing a turnover. Testino tested, he turns it aside. 4 minutes remain on the clock. This one chipped in on Testino. He's able to stick it away, and the Dogs will finally look to clear. McAvoy looks for the pass, and it's walked out by Eberle. Eberle will send it in deep towards the other side near Punzenberger. McAvoy can't keep it in, so Eberle will have to pick it up, and now he's playing a role as a defenseman as he is the only one back. And a bad pass to center ice gives the Blue Hens a chance to regroup in their own defensive zone. So we'll see if DeRoche goes anywhere. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remain, but a 3-goal lead seems too big that you wouldn't really think about pulling the goalie. However, some teams are more aggressive with it as Eberle tries to get it off the blue line and accidentally backhands it into his own bench. So there'll be a draw right outside the bench on the center ice side of the blue line. So a good game from the Ice Dawgs all around. They came out slow in the first period. Since then, they've been dominant, outscoring the opponent 4-1, and now a chance to make it 5-1 here as Green has a breakaway. It's kicked into the corner, though. He'll have to battle for it. He tries to get it up to Strauss, who was holding the line, but instead it's intercepted by Michael Gibbons. Gibbons will throw it out towards center ice where the Dogs will pick it back up. Their forecheck has been absolutely perfect tonight. Whitwer with it in center ice, gives it off to Ing. Ing turns it over, and the Blue Hens will come the other way. This one makes its way towards Testino. He just has to throw his stick at it and put it in the corner. Now that's where the Dogs and Blue Hens battle. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. DeRoche still in his net, as this one doesn't make its way through to Testino as it goes off the ankle of Strauss, and as his team tries to clear off the boards, it will go out into the Georgia bench again. So there'll be another face-off, this time not at center ice, as it will be to Testino's blocker side. As it was fired out of play while the Dogs were still in their defensive zone. Dogs win the face-off. They'll skate it out, eventually dump it in deep, but again, it goes off an ankle and kicks out of play. A fan will get a lucky souvenir. It looks like some Making Mayhem fans that stuck around. Sorry if I'm starting to lose my ability to speak. It's been 6 hours of doing that now. But to see an Ice Dawgs win is all worth it, as I'm sure most of you fans believe, although might have some Delaware fans here. Mazaros wins the draw. He'll get it back to his defenseman, who fires inadvertently a bad shot right into the forechecker. Poole will have to skate it out after picking it back up. Less than 2 minutes now as the Dogs look content to play as slow as possible, just passing back and forth in center ice. They now enter the offensive zone. Good moves here from Moore. He eventually gives it off to Ryan Bailey, who can't control it. Bailey just working on the half wall, burning time. Now behind the net, Bailey tries to get it out in front. Instead, it'll find its way to Gannon all the way at the point. He fires in a shot. It's saved. Now Poole keeps it in at the line. Mazaros and Moore on the forecheck. It'll ring all the way around. And the ref trips up the Blue Hens player. So Bailey's able to pick up the puck and get his offense working again. Poole will enter the zone. He's tied up. It'll make its way back out to Parente, who came on during a switch there. Parente, the only one in the offensive zone as the rest of his team switches. He takes a shot on goal, and it's covered up and swallowed up by DeRoche. Less than a minute remains as the Dogs lead by 3, 5-2. Offensive zone draw for the Dogs on the glove side of DeRoche. Conway tries to step through, however, he's taken into the half wall. Eventually, the Blue Hens will be able to clear, but the Dogs and Gannon with the chance to just fire it back up ice. It won't make its way out of the defensive zone for Georgia as it's picked up by a Blue Hen, however. They look to keep the pressure on here late. DeRoche still in goal, so we still have 5-on-5 as they look content to clean this one out and let this go to tomorrow with 20 seconds left. Still trying to add one behind the net, looking for someone out in front. Held at the blue line by the Blue Hens. 10 seconds remain. They'll take one last shot here. Testino able to stick it away, and Gannon will fire it out, and that will be the end of this game. Dogs win quite easily. The first period, a bit of a scare. Since then, they go on a 4-1 run and win this one by 3. We'll be right back here on this channel tomorrow. Stay tuned. We'll have a video broadcast and all the bells and whistles here at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow for the second game of the Georgia Hockey and Delaware Hockey matchup. My name is Joe Kopsho. Thank you all for sticking around. I know it's not up to the usual quality, but we appreciate all of you, and we'll see you here tomorrow.